Hi, my name is Amy Stupiello. I'm a COMS101 online student. This is my persuasive speech on abortion, and this is my audience. Okay. According to the Centers for Disease Control and the Guttmacher Institute, a research affiliate of Planned Parenthood, since 1973, when abortion first became legal, there have since been 54 million reported abortions. As a soon-to-be nurse, abortion is an ethical and legal issue that I will face in the career field. Also, as a follower of Christ, abortion is a moral issue that I must speak up against, since life is something that God values. Abortion is an issue that affects many people and is against God's word. However, if people take a stand and speak up against it, the value of human life will be brought back to its roots, established by God. Today I'm going to talk to you about the issue of abortion. I will explain why it's such a problem today around the world, what God thinks about abortion, and what others can do to keep it from happening. Abortion is a major problem around the world today, and it has an effect on many people. In 1776, when the Declaration of Independence was first written, these words were printed. "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men were created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." The founding fathers of our nation saw that life was something that should be valued, something given by God that should not be taken away. As a nation, we've come so far, from valuing life and establishing the Constitution with God in mind, from being a nation with over 50 million unborn children. These children had a future that was taken away from them when their mother decided to end their life. Out of the 200 million sperm that try to penetrate a mother's egg cell, only one is successful and joins with the egg. In this moment, a unique human being is formed. All the instructions and DNA for who that person will become, their eye color, hair color, gender, even facial features, are all determined in that moment. This moment of one sperm joining an egg is defined as conception. This is when I believe life first begins. On the 21st day after conception, the baby's heart first begins to beat. Also, electrical brain waves have been recorded in as little as 40 days after conception. For someone to say that a fetus is not a person at this stage is ridiculous. With advances in modern technology, babies now have the ability to survive outside the womb in as little as being born in as little as 20 weeks. Despite the moral aspect of abortion, there's also a very strong spiritual aspect. God makes it very clear in His Word that human life is something to be valued. In Genesis 1, verse 26, it says this, "Then God said, 'Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and the animals, over all the creatures that move along the ground.'" It is clear that God established human life in the very beginning when He made the earth, and He made us all in His image. For those who are still not convinced that a developing fetus in the womb is a human life, God's word says this in Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." This makes it clear that God has a purpose for every life, and He knows each developing child while they're still in the womb. Now I'm going to discuss why abortion first became an issue and its roots and why there's such a high percentage in America. Abortion first became legalized in 1973 in the Supreme Court case of Roe v. Wade. In this case, a 21-year-old woman named Jane Roe represented all the women who wanted to have abortions but could not do it the legal way. As a result of this Supreme Court decision, women were now allowed to have abortions from well-trained medical professionals and have them in a safer environment. The Supreme Court ruled that women have the right to privacy, which includes their decision whether or not to abort their child, and this decision should not be interfered by the state. Since this decision, other Supreme Court cases have been made that expanded the options women have for making abortion into a more commonality and something more socially acceptable in the world. Some people agree that abortion is wrong, but say it depends on the reason. Some people claim that a woman who is raped or forced to have sex with a family member should not be forced to have her child. According to the Guttmacher Institute, less than 1% of babies are aborted for these reasons. the Guttmacher Institute found that the number one reason that women aborted their children were because they felt that having a baby would dramatically change their life. These reasons included interfering with their education, their career, and other child's needs. The second highest reason that women chose to abort a child was for financial reasons and fear that they wouldn't be able to take care of them. There are many other alternatives a woman can choose from rather than abortion. There are millions of Americans that are unable to conceive children but still wish to have a family. Currently, an average of 6 million families each year struggle with infertility. Adoption is always another option for a mother who feels she cannot provide for her child's needs financially or emotionally. Every year in the U.S., 120,000 children are adopted. For mothers who feel that their children will be a burden to their everyday life, adoption or having a family member help raise the child is always an option. In order for the issue of abortion to be ended, Americans must speak up against the innocent lives that are taken. They can do this by joining a pro-life group, by voting against financing for abortion by the government, also by choosing a presidential candidate that has pro-life views similar to theirs. This will help to eliminate the issue and allow our opinion to be spoken. Today I explained the issue of abortion and why it has become so prevalent in society today. I have shown the origin of abortion along with what Americans can do to end it. Abortion is a controversial issue that affects many Americans in different ways. However, by taking a stand against it and protecting the unborn, the original value of human life can be restored to its original value placed by God. I hope today that you now think of abortion with a different perspective. I hope that you will take a stand against it and protect innocent lives from being lost.